And there we go. We are live. As wonderful as that's going to be. All right. Do some things. And do them on camera. Maybe adjust the camera. Who knows? You never know. Nobody knows. That's not enough. That's not enough. All the leaves are brown, and the sky is brown. Everything is brown, because it's still winter. Aye. Oh, magic. A bit more magic dust, a bit more magic dust. And it's probably too much, but that's good. Should we make an eye adjustment? Yeah. Yeah, why not? Why the hell not? Oh. Because nobody cares, and it's fine. Nobody cares, and it's fine. That's about it. Yosh. He's good, he's not good. He's not good. He's good. He's so-so. Okay. Close enough. Close enough. What's everyone else doing this Saturday, aside from, obviously not being here? In the words of Alf, ha! I kill me. Probably should have more light than this. We might be okay. We might be all right. Gotta mix the putty. Mix, 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 mix the putty. Let grasses grow and waters flow in a free and easy way. Give me enough of the finer stuff that's brewed near Galway Bay, and fills the air with odor rare betwixt both me and you. Something, real mountain dew. Oh well. All right, weirdo. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Go. For anyone who watches this back, it was my daughter bringing her devices that have run out of power so that I can charge them for her. But it's okay. What? What? Oh, magic. An unskippable ad. Yay. All right. What, baby? YouTube. Silly girl. Don't think that was enough. It's always a little bit of guesswork and mixing up putty. I don't know if anyone can hear me on the microphone. Probably not. How close do I have to get? I don't know. Oh well. We'll find out later. Right. Little trick I learned from another sculpting video. Instead of laying it back on the mat, you end up putting it here where it's easy to get to. Of course, obviously, larger lumps of putty make that more difficult. The focal length of that is terrible, isn't it? All right. This might accidentally work for painting as well. You never can tell quite. Okay. Where's the best place for that? Focus, focus. And that might be enough here after all. Get off. There we go. So we put a little putty in, put a little putty in, put a little putty in, put a little putty. You should advise this more than a day and more than a couple hours in advance. I mean, maybe. Maybe. Maybe I should have announced it to some social media things. Okay, that's going to go like that. It probably needs a little bit more. That is gonna need. You know what? I'm gonna move you because you were drawing focus. Let's see what happens. There we are. That's not quite right. Okay, so take that and we're going to do something like unto that there. It may or may not work. Hang on. Hold up, King's X. Okay. Yeah, I probably should have made an announcement across more social media. Likely would have been beneficial. The link is still wrong. And that's going to make it more difficult later. There we go. It's getting better. I don't want to do is lose that little good work we've done on the lower leg, because that would be a tragedy. I'm shaking the camera a little bit. Okay, now we're going to need more putty. And listen to the sounds of silence. That's not exactly. There, that's better. All right. All right. Gotta move the feet. There's always someplace to smooth that you have forgotten. The inseam is a little bit wrong. The inseam is wrong. Cannibalize this leg a little bit. That's a little better. On the one side, anyway. Just get rid of those nasty ass lines now. Mix the potty, mix the potty. Mix the potty. Over. Okay, oops. That's the story of my sculpting life. Okay, oops. All right. Take that. Folds are always good. Rankles. Wrinkles are good. Except, you know, when you screw them up and then they're not so good. But hey, you know, who's actually counting here with your rankles? Look like here. And up here. A bit, tiny bit there. Not too much. We don't want to do what we just did, which is dumbass it. Yeah. Yeah, we got some wrinkles down there, and we got some wrinkles back here. I'm gonna move that out of the way so I have more room. I know I'm not any of the paranormal guys, but you guys are missing a hell of a live stream here. It's still very soft. Apparently he had a very good time. Winner Beckenbauer. Nobody remembers that movie. Nobody remembers that movie. No, just me. Just me. And maybe my sister. All right. So what we're going to do with this guy. I'm not happy with that. That could be. There we go. There we go. So what we're going to do here, since we have this sort of doing what it's doing, and then we do, stupid shit like that and have to resmooth everything. So I'm gonna take a bunch of this off. It's still very soft. So we can come back and revisit that in a minute. I'm going to smooth it down a little bit so they can come back with more putty later and fix all that. That definitely needs to be fixed on that side, obviously. And in the interim, as soon as I quit dicking around with it, so I'm going to take it now and run it back over the wrinkles real quick. And we're going to stick that in our putty oven and let that cure a bit. So we can come back and do the other leg without screwing this one up. While we're doing that, we're going to take a little bit of this and finish some pouches. Everybody loves pouches, right? A little more putty there. I mean, technically, the pouches already exist. We're just, adding the flaps to them. Okay, so here's one flap. I know. It's got a tiny little button in it to keep it closed. Yeah. Let's see. In the center there. Just a little putty left. Not enough, and it's not really very sticky. So what do I do with this? Sort of sticky. What we don't want to do, and one of the things I'm best at, is sticking my thumb right in something I just sculpted. So I'm going to do something when I change my mind. I might do something different here. So I need to fix this because it is wrong. No, don't do it. Sticky little bastard. There we go. There we go. Now I've got the Johnny Quest thing running through my head. Why though? No, to be fair, I was just rewatching the Venture Brothers. May or may not have something to do with that. It seems a little bit less stupid. Let's compare to the shape of a square. Because you were trying to not needs to be a straight line, you know. Apparently, the shortest point between two boobs is a straight line. Ha ha ha. It's funny. Girl, you know it's true. Right. All right, that was all that putty. I'll have to mix some more now. We have definitely bumper jot that. I'm going to set her back over here because let's go cure. And let's go grab our thing out of the oven. Out of the oven and into the fire. Wait, that's not it. So, you see, it gets very warm and soft and sort of vague through the putty oven. Let's try to come back in here and adjust a tiny bit. Tiny bit. As even though heating cures the putty, as it heats up, it will also get very soft underneath external heat, as we have just done. What we don't want is for that to have gotten rid of all of the detail work that we already did, because that would be bad. A little coffee and we'll keep on going. We're going for about 46 minutes now, which surprises me. I didn't realize it had been on quite that long. Just going to do a thing. Or maybe I'm not. Who knows? Who knows, eh? Okay. And what else are we doing? All right, mixing some more putty. Because putty mixing is good for fun and profit, right? Actually, we're going to smooth this a little bit more again. Putty smoothing for fun and profit. Some of this doesn't matter because there will be other details to go over it, but you know, when you do this kind of stuff, you'll know it's there. So gotta fix that later. Alrighty. More putty. More putty. More wheat. Rice. Corn, I think. More wheat. Yosh. It's very quiet because I don't have any non. That is too much. Yes, no, maybe. No, that's about right. Yeah. I don't have any non. Royalty music. I thought about finding some, and then I just didn't. I think this whole improvised camera setup was done last minute too. I'm sure you can't tell. If you are curious and you're watching this back, and I don't expect you to, but if you're curious and watching this back, so this is, it's not quite a 50-50 mix, but a near 50-50 mix of Procreate and Epoxy Sculpt. Now, the reason I do that is I saw somebody else do it. No, Procreate is what I started using instead of green stuff, Neatite, because Neatite is very elastic, and as you saw with me going back over the details here a few times to make them work out better and last longer. Same thing happens with Neatite, only more so. So it's very springy. It tends to spring back to as close to its original position as it can. So for this kind of thing, basically, I would be doing this even more than I'm doing it right now. I'm just trying to get some of these wrinkles back the way I wanted them. They did let loose a little bit. But yeah, Neatite is even worse about that kind of thing. So I changed to Procreate, which is still sticky, still springy, but not quite as elastic as Neatite. But sometimes you want things to have a little bit more rigidity. And Epoxy Sculpt is a very rigid epoxy putty. Once it cures, it has a better ability to be sanded and carved and scraped and that kind of thing. So if you take the Procreate, mix it with the Epoxy Sculpt, then what you get is a fairly sticky putty that's got some elasticity to it, but also has some rigidity when it cures that you are able to go and scrape and carve and cut and that kind of thing. It's not a perfect system, but it works for me. There are a lot of the sculptors who haven't gone digital yet, or at least the little ones that I know of. I've moved on towards things like bees putty and stuff like that, but I've never actually tried that. That one's more of I'm a little bit hesitant to use something like bees putty because my understanding is it's more of a wax, sculpting wax than it is an actual epoxy putty. Although again, I do know a sculptor who, when he uses it, he also does mix it with something else. I don't know if it's epoxy sculpt, but he does mix it with something else to do it. again, a little more rigidity, a little more ability to harden and be manipulated in that way. Nobody cares. Anyway, this is what I'm going to do. Between the live streams and the videos, this is what I do. I look at collectibles from time to time, but I either sculpt or paint or play video games, but nobody wants to watch me do that. Because when you're really good, they call you Crackerjack, and they don't call me Crackerjack. I always have to make sure it gets completely mixed, or then it cures weirdly, or it doesn't cure at all in places. And that's no good. It's not what we're going for. Not in the slightest. While you're stopping by to visit, feel free to subscribe to the channel, like, comment, share, whatever you want to do. It's the engagement mostly. So I'm not here for grabbing a giant following of people like other social media platforms. That as a goal in and of itself has never seemed interesting to me. But having, some people who might want to, subscribe or follow or whatever, and then having useful conversations with those people, having engagement with those people, that is something that I would prefer. And we have a mix of putty. It's a putty emergency. Still getting used to sticking out of the back of my thumbnail. So I saw that from another sculptor, and I was like, oh, that's really keen. So I used to just, put it back down on the cutting mat when I wasn't using it, or the bits I wasn't using, I guess I should say. And you sort of fumble around for it, and that's no good. Fumbling is never good. So while we're waiting on that to finish curing, what I want to do is add another out of focus head here. This thing has weird focal length. All right, so it's not complete, obviously, but I have other ones that I need to get heads on. Similar heads. finish adding the detail to them. Mm-hmm. I haven't done that in a while. Really need a better webcam if I'm going to continue to do this, though. Autofocus and something that's higher than 720p is probably going to be more appreciated by the 3 or so people that watch these sort of things. It's all about smoothing and roughing up and smoothing it out again. Or is it? Who knows? It sounded impressive, didn't it? I almost knew what I was talking about. Almost. It smells like something burning in here. Maybe it's my tiny brain. And he's going to have a huge hit. If I'm not careful, I start pulling this thing back toward my blind eyes when it gets away from the camera. Make sure not to do that. Ow, doop a doop 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 a doop doop doo. That was a little bit deeper than I had anticipated. Two. Oh! Ah! Party call. Oh my dear. All right. That is enough for that. Thank you. I see. I see. Your collection. a similarity there. One of them is larger, clearly. But he's kind of a larger guy. The burning smell is driving me nuts. Who knows? Maybe none of this is coming across the microphone anyway. The micrometer. And here I am, by myself, talking to myself. That's chaos. That's chaos. Do, 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 do. Just sit right back and you'll hear a tale. Tale of a fateful trip that started on this trip voyage aboard this tiny ship. I know. It's not IP-free music. Yeah. They're running out. They're running out of batteries. My bride, come bring to me my bride. The fabled arms of Milacer. This guy looks like a Fraggle. I'll open wide. Let haste be made. I cannot be delayed. That is wrong. Fuck. All right. I can fix. Maybe. Okay. All right. What are we at? We don't even know. We don't even know. Ah, here we are. Hour 18. Uh-oh. Okay. All right. So we've got a few things here. Let's check on this guy. Yeah. Still not quite, but it's getting there. Like I said, the interesting thing about mixing the two, and this is, I would usually wait for this to be completely cured, but you want to smooth it out a little bit, is scrape it with a sharp tool. An X-Acto blade is always good. Yeah, it's catching a little bit, so it's not quite cured. I speak English. I learned it from a book. So the next thing that I want to do is not have that like that. Beyond that, though, we're going to do the left leg. Finish off the basic pants. And I think with the cheerful lack of viewers today, we're going to go ahead and call that a day. Let some of this stuff cure before we mix up some more putty. Anyone who enjoys this later, have a good time. Again, feel free to Like, subscribe, comment, ask questions, make noises. Who knows? But we will see you in the next one.